Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Tech Tip Tuesday with the Tech Ninja. I'm your host, Kat Milner, the Chief Tech Ninja of Simplify Your Tech. The last few videos, we've been talking about your funnels, and last time it was about your story of your brand and how to make the client the hero in the hero's journey format for your business, for your marketing. So today, rather than just dryly going over all of the elements in the hero's journey, I've put together a story inspired by Richard Bach's Jonathan Livingston Seagull to use as an example, and I'll point out the different elements as we go through the story. So sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy the story time. In the morning light, on the farthest edge of the blue and infinite ocean, lived Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Now, he was not an ordinary seagull, content just scraping out a living by scavenging for breadcrumbs along the shore, or crumbs of any kind, really. Jonathan was different. He was driven by a passion for flight, a hunger for learning, and yearning to soar higher and faster than any seagull ever dared. Call to adventure. One day, as he watched the other seagulls squabbling over food, Jonathan felt a deep, insistent call from within. It was the call to break free from the mundane and explore the skies beyond the horizon. He longed to master the art of flight, to discover the secrets of the wind and the currents that danced above the waves. Refusal of the call. As he shared his dream with his flock, they dismissed him. Flight is for finding food, they said. Why waste time on foolish dreams? Jonathan felt the sting of their rejection for a moment, and doubt crept into his heart. Could he really defy the traditions that go back eons, that has bound his kind for generations? Meeting the mentor. Just as he was about to give up on all of his dreams, a wise and ancient seagull named Chang appeared beside him. Chang had seen the spark of greatness in Jonathan and offered to teach him the mysteries of flight. With patient guidance, Chang showed Jonathan how to move with the wind, to ascend beyond the limits of the physical world, and to embrace the pure joy of flying. Crossing the threshold. Empowered by Chang's teachings, Jonathan took a leap of faith. He soared higher and faster than he ever thought possible, leaving the familiar shore far behind. With each daring dive and turn, he felt the shackles of the ordinary just fall away, replaced by a boundless sense of freedom. Tests, allies, and enemies. As Jonathan ventured further into the skies, he faced challenges that tested his resolve. Harsh winds and stormy skies sought to push him back, but he also found allies, other gulls that actually shared his vision and his quest for transcendence. Together, they formed a small but dedicated band, learning from each other and pushing the limits of what was possible. Approach to the inmost cave. There came a day when Jonathan realized that the true test lay not in the skies, but within his own heart. He had to confront the fears and doubts that lingered in the shadows of his mind. He flew higher and higher, seeking the quiet solitude where he could reflect and find clarity. The ordeal. In the silence of the upper sky, Jonathan faced his greatest challenge. He confronted the fear of failure, the pain of rejection, and the weight of loneliness. But in this crucible of self-discovery, he emerged victorious, embracing his full, true self and the boundless potential that lay within him. The reward. With newfound wisdom and deeper understanding of the nature of flight, Jonathan returned to his original flock. He carried the reward of his journey, a vision of what life could be like when it's lived with purpose and passion. He was no longer just a seagull. He was a symbol of freedom and possibility. The road back. Jonathan's return was not without its struggles. His original flock was wary of his new ideas and hesitant to accept the changes that he proposed. But Jonathan persevered, sharing his knowledge with patience and compassion, slowly winning over hearts and minds. The resurrection. As the days turned into weeks, the flock began to transform. They started to experiment with flight, to push their limits, and to embrace the joy that Jonathan had discovered. Jonathan's teachings breathed new life into their community, resurrecting their spirit and igniting a collective passion for the skies. Return with the elixir. Jonathan had returned not just as a seagull, but as a beacon of hope and a harbinger of change. He had brought back the elixir of freedom, the knowledge that life was meant to be lived fully and that the skies were not a limit, but rather an invitation to soar. Through his journey, Jonathan had shown every seagull that he could be more than they ever dreamed, that each of them carried within themselves the potential for greatness. And so, in the golden light of the setting sun, Jonathan Livingston Seagull flew not alone, but with a flock that had learned to embrace the beauty of their wings and the endless possibilities of the open sky. So that's how you put together a hero's journey tale showing your client how they can be the hero of their own story. Drop any comments that you have, any feedback, any questions, drop it in the chat below. I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.